Hi, Virgo. My name is Darlene Dotson, and this is your Destiny of Truth for February of 2021. Virgo, on the 1st, you have got the sun in Aquarius in your sixth house. So, and it's squaring Mars in Taurus in your ninth house. And pretty much wherever the sun is, that's where your light is being shined right now. And you're looking at your health. You're also looking at your work life. And it's squaring Mars, which is in the ninth house in Taurus, which is your philosophies. And it could also be publishing, broadcasting, travel, long distance travel. It could also be the government, but you're your own worst enemy here. And pretty much you're having to look at your philosophies in life in some area and use those to help you overcome an issue in your health. Use that to help you overcome an issue in your work life because you are taking action in your philosophies, okay? It could be you taking actions to travel. You're taking actions to go back to school, okay? There is something you're doing in a ninth house matter that you are your own worst enemy with your health. And you're going to have to look at this and change that, okay? And I say that because we've got Mercury retrograde this month, but also on the 1st, you have Venus going into Aquarius in your sixth house. And people love you that you work with. People love you in the health industry. You might have a small pet that also loves you, but you're putting a lot of love into either your work life, your health, or with a small pet. Then on the 5th or the 6th, we have, depending on your coast, we have Venus conjunct Saturn in Aquarius in your sixth house. And Saturn restricts what it touches. And Saturn is restricting you from moving forward in a financial matter, with it being Venus. He could also be restricting you in an issue that has to do with your health. Because he wants you to make a healthier choice. And, so he's going to restrict you until you make better choices. And let me explain this, Virgo. Saturn, he's like that crotchety old grandfather that always told you it's going to be my way or the highway. Well, that's who he is. And he's the grandfather of the universe. So believe me, he's going to win. You're not going to win. So just go along with it. He's restricting you in a health matter, in a small pet matter, in a step you want to take towards your work life. He's saying, nope, going to do it this way. But you'll see how it all works out in the end because he's a lot wiser than any of us. Then on the 6th, we have Venus in Aquarius in the 6th house, squaring Uranus and Taurus in the 9th house. And yes, you are making a lot of changes in a ninth house matter. That could be in your philosophies. It could be in your education, a change in, broadcasting, publishing, media, but your government, you're making some type of change in this area of life, but it's being squared by Venus and Aquarius in the sixth house from people that you love. You know, they want you to make healthy changes, okay? And they don't want you to go from one extreme to another. So you're going to make these changes, but you're going to have to find that happy medium between, work and your philosophies, or between health and, your travel. Gonna They're just two of the examples, but there's some kind of change going in a ninth house matter. And like I said, that can be broadcasting, philosophies, higher education, travel, government. You're looking for a change here, but you're fixed to the old way of being in work or health. And this goes against the changes that you really need to make. Now, on the 8th, we have got the Sun conjunct Mercury retrograde in the 6th house. And this is a combust. When the Sun conjunct Mercury in a fixed sign, there's something you're angry about, and it has to do with your health. It has to do with your work life, a small pet, okay? But, think about it. Don't combust, okay? Because this is the second hit of this. It has to do with something that happened earlier in January, okay, when the Sun did meet Mercury for the first time. You've got to think about this before you take action, okay? Don't let your mouth overload your butt right now. Just take it in stride and think about it, because your mind's not real clear about what you want to do there. Now, on the 10th, we have Mercury retrograde again in Aquarius in your 6th house, and that is squared Mars in Taurus in your 9th house. And the actions that you're taking in your 9th house matters. It might be school, work, travel. Well, when I say travel, I say long distance travel. Okay, so it could be school, work, long distance travel, publishing, broadcasting, media, philosophies. There's some type of action that you're taking in this area of your life that has to do with work that you're unsure of, okay? Your mind's cloudy, your thoughts are cloudy, you don't know how to voice your words properly. So it's just, it's, you're not getting where you want to get, but it's okay. You're thinking about things and the direction, and you will get clearer by the end of the month. Now, on the 11th, we have Venus in Aquarius in the 6th house conjunct Jupiter in Aquarius in the sixth house. And there's an issue, like I said, going on at work, in your health, okay, or with a small pet. And if everything's been going good, it can expand it in a great way, okay? But if there's been issues there that need to be overcome, it's going to bring it to a head, okay? You're going to see it. And it has to do with your finances, with, it being Venus, okay? In the sixth house, it's going to more than likely have to do with work or health. And Jupiter, again, is ruled by Sagittarius, and that's the natural ninth house. So it's got something to do with your philosophies. Oh, and just to let you know, the ninth house is also legal matters. So something legally could be coming to a head around here that has to do with your finances. Then on the 12th or the 13th, we have Mercury in retrograde conjunct Venus conjunct Venus in Aquarius in the sixth house. And again, it's Mercury. Your mind is cloudy. You're not thinking right. You're not voicing yourself right. And it's conjunct in Venus, which, you want to voice yourself properly with those that you love. And with Venus conjunct, Mercury, you're charming, you're love, okay? You want to help change the world in some way, in a sixth house matter. That could have to do with health, and it could have to do with work or a small pet. And you are charming. You're charming people in this area of life right now. And Venus also rules Taurus, okay, which is your finances. Could also be love. But with it being Mercury retrograde, you're not thinking clearly right now. So you're charming, but you want a clear mind when you take action in this area. Now, on the 13th, we've got Mars in Taurus in the ninth house, sextiling Neptune in Pisces in your seventh house. And a sextile, it's energy that you don't have to use if you don't want to. But if you do, you're going to be able to come this issue pretty, with a little bit of work. But you're going to have to work towards it. And it's an action that you take in a ninth house matter, lawsuit, that could have to do with finances, with it being Taurus. It could be philosophies of your ethics and your morals. And it's being spiritually aligned with Pisces in partnerships, okay? Because Neptune has no boundaries. You can't touch it, okay? You could overcome an addiction that's happening in a partnership. But actions have to be taken legally, or philosophically, or within the media, or with broadcasting. But it's some type of financial decision. I am almost guaranteeing, okay, that action needs to be taken in order to overcome the addiction or the philosophy of a partnership. Okay. Now, on the 14th, you have got Mercury retrograde conjunct Jupiter in Aquarius in your 6th house. And Aquarius rules the 11th house naturally, desires, aspirations, okay? And it's Mercury retrograde. And you want to expand your communications. You want to expand your thought process. And Jupiter being here wants to help you, but this is the second hit with it being Mercury retrograde. So you're not sure about the direction that you want to take with your philosophies. You're not sure about the direction that you want to take, with your health matter or career matter. But like I said, it's a Jupiter and it expands what it touches. And if things have been going good in this health issue, then it's going to expand it in a positive way. But if it's been not so good, it's also going to expand that. So you're really going to have to look at health issues. You're also going to have to look at career issues and small pet issues. These are things that you've got to look at this month, Virgo. Then on the 7th, we've got Saturn in Aquarius in your 6th house, squaring Uranus and Taurus in your 9th house. And we got two power players here going up against each other. You have got Saturn, which restricts, okay, and you've got Uranus, which says change is going to happen. And you are being restricted in health matters. You're being restricted in work matters or with a small pet, okay? And it's saying here, that's because you've got to change. You've either got to change your philosophies, you've got to change something that's happening in a legal matter, you've got to change something in the government, you've got to change something, trying to think, in the media, broadcasting, publishing, the internet, but there's something that you've got to change in that 9th house matter, okay, in order for you not to feel restricted in your work life or in your health matter or with a small pet. Now on the 18th, we have got the sun moving in Pisces in the 7th house. Wherever the sun is, you're going to shine your light there. Now, you're shining your light in Pisces in your 7th house. But you got an issue here, Virgo. You have no boundaries in your partnerships. And that's not a good thing. But that's for another day. You're going to be shining your light in a loving and compassionate way in partnerships for the next month. Then on the 19th, we have got Venus in Aquarius in your 6th house. And it's squaring Mars in Taurus in your 9th house. And pretty much the actions that you're taking in a lawsuit, in your philosophies, in broadcasting, in the internet, the media, long distance travel, it's not going over too well in your work life or with your health. Okay. And it's taking its toll, but it's something you'll deal with and come out on the other side, because on the 20th, Mercury moves direct in your sixth house and you're going to get more clarity. Okay. You're going to be able to speak what you've been trying to say in these sixth house matters, which have to do with your health and have to do with, your small pets, could have to do with your work life. You're definitely going to get more clarity there, because come the 24th, the actions you take in those ninth house matters, that's legally the actions that you take. It could also be actions that you take in media or long distance travel. Trying to think. Media, long distance travel, government, you know, your philosophies. It trines Pluto, okay, in Capricorn in your fifth house, which Pluto is, he's the transformer. And the actions you take this day in the ninth house is going to help you overcome a transformation with your child that needs to happen. And it is in, Capricorn, which rules the natural 10th house. So it's going to be a powerful change that you make. And that, it's a good thing. Okay. That trine is a beautiful aspect. I mean, it's two earth signs. It's going to make you more grounded, get your finances stable. It's just, going to take you to the next level with your child. Then, or in your creative endeavor, or trying to think, creative dating life too. But it's a transformation that you're making here. And then on the 25th, we have Venus entering Pisces in your seventh house. So you got a lot of focus happening in your partnerships in the coming month near the end of February. And it's, again, you have no boundaries in relationships, but you've got to learn to be more compassionate and more giving in this relationships. And we will go in to boundaries another day, because your issues. I don't have to go into them. But Pisces has no boundaries. They buy into the illusion of the partnership. So Virgo, you're going to be more loving and compassionate and giving in your partnerships, and your partnerships naturally are going to love you for it. So that is your astrological forecast for the month of February. Now I'm using the Work Your Light cards for the month of February. And so let's shuffle and see what they got to say. Virgo. Ooh, Virgo. We drew the Priestess for you. It's time for you to step up, okay, and lead. Um, you've got to be a leader, okay? It's no more of this sitting back and watching life pass you by. You've got to step up, and whether you're leading your children, you're leading in a creative endeavor, or you've got to take the lead in your dating life. You've got to take the lead, and you've also, you're being restricted, like I said, in those six house matters. And that's because you got to figure out what you really want, because once it moves forward, you are going to be definitely leading there. So, Virgo, and that could also have to do with the philosophies, because you're going through such a massive change with your philosophies. So be that leader, okay? Go out and lead people in a way that's going to make you proud of who you are. Because when we lead somebody, we also learn more about ourselves. So stay beautiful, Virgo. And be compassionate, be loving, and be who you were meant to be and not who you were conditioned to be. I love you, and I'll see you next month in March. Have a great one, Virgo. Bye-bye.